full cash. Really, it's a private trust. It needs to be separate. That one and, drove back with separate. Once we do that. We're gonna deposit the check into general fund and we earn some.
Minutes.
All right, good morning, everyone. It's 9:08 a.m. on August the 10th, 2026. This is a special meeting of Gillespie County Commissioners Court. We have one item on the agenda. Let's call the meeting to order. Commissioner Olfers is currently not present, but he's expected to arrive shortly. All other members of the Commissioners Court are present. We have one item on the agenda, which is budget workshop. We also have budget workshop on the agenda tomorrow after our regular meeting, and then we have another one on Friday. After our last meeting, I did email the mayor to inquire about the volunteer fire department contributions, just trying to get an idea of what he had in mind. He wanted to contribute an additional $120,000 to the 6 departments combined. So it'd be $60,000 from each entity, which would contribute an additional 20 to each of the 6 volunteer fire departments. So that was the proposal on that. I don't know that council has formally discussed and approved that yet, but that was his estimate based on, or sort of a proposal based on discussions that we had, and I guess he has had with internally in the city.
So what were the amounts again that he suggested?
It would be 120 total increase, 20,000 per department. And it would be 60 from each. If you split that down the middle, it's an additional 60 for us, an additional 60 from the city's contribution for that.
I think there's 5 departments.
Are there? Okay, well, he put 6, so.
There's Willow City, Stonewall, Harper, Doss, and Carolina.
And well, the other one is Fredericksburg Volunteer Fire Department, which we've never contributed to.
Not as a volunteer department.
They're not on,
Yeah.
we haven't contributed to them, so.
That's covered in that 50-50 split.
Yeah.
Otherwise, right?
Yeah.
So do we plug a number of 100,000, 20,000 for each of those 5, and the other comes?
Sounds reasonable. Unless you have any other proposals.
And
I mean, he could have been thinking of Fredericksburg, or, there's,
Unless he's making the,
Alamo Springs, we don't fund them, but they come to some meetings. Maybe you thought they were a funded department also.
that or the second station for,
No, I do that.
yeah, I mean, that would be the only other thought that what he counted, so,
he's only been mayor a few months, maybe he just doesn't know.
and it could be.
All right, so are y'all comfortable with 20,000 per department, 5 departments?
That's fine. If you'd like, I will go ahead and go through that breakdown and submit that
Okay.
for review. So it'd be basically a 100K increase.
Was his proposal to split it evenly or to divide it out, and we can do what we,
I mean, this was by email, but his email says it would increase the 6 departments by a combined 20,000 annually, which I assume he means each department would get that additional increase as a flat rate. At least that's their intention. What do you think, Dale? Sound reasonable,
Yes.
or at least better than nothing, better than
Very
not?
appreciative.
Okay.
From the years where I barely covered insurance back years ago, it's very helpful.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Kimmy had sent out the current position schedule, and I went through that this morning. I have several questions about certain items on that. I don't know if that's something that we want to talk through.
Okay, we can work through that in just a second.
Pardon?
Let's go through that in just a second.
Okay.
I was going to ask about the emergency management assistant. That was the other item that the mayor emailed me about,
Mhm.
asking if there was county support for that or not. He's estimating it would be approximately 40,000 from each entity to fund that. I think that the city manager estimated about 50,000 from each entity, so it's in that 40 to 50,000 range. That we would need to contribute in additional funds to create that support position in emergency management. The impression I get is that the city is in support of that position. I know we talked about it a little bit on our last meeting. I mean, are there concerns with that? I mean, other than the concern we discussed, which is continuing to add FTEs to the department.
Well, I guess one of my concerns is that the emergency management coordinator is really a position that reports to you in the event of an emergency. And so building a bigger department in the city of Fredericksburg continues to make less sense to me than us having a position that is specifically related to the county. And I also think that we should consider this in connection with the fire marshal growth in terms of having a position on board to support that, so.
I did make that proposal concerning the fire marshal, maybe being able to fill part of that or fill that role to the city manager. I don't know if the council has discussed that or considered that, but let me follow up with the city and see.
Have you had an opportunity to talk to the fire marshal anyone on that?
I have not since I met with him to discuss the idea and propose it to him. I mean, at the time he was, he felt that it made sense. They worked together closely already, and you know they integrate with emergency management regularly and during events. So
Well, I would have to agree with Commissioner Weinheimer as far as integrating a fire marshal part-time position. You know, if you asked some of our past emergency management coordinators, it was Frank Steed and Justin Calhoun thought it was a one-man job. And it typically is unless there's an emergency. I can see that, but if we're going to add a position, I would like to see it integrated to our fire marshal position probably. Would be my preference.
time's up.
Is it your 3-minute time? 3 discussion?
3 minutes are up.
All right. Did y'all have any other small items that you want to discuss or before we go to the personnel? We will need to take action to set a proposed tax rate as part of the preparation for the proposed budget. And so after the meeting today, I'm going to add an item on Friday's meeting for an actual item to set that proposed tax rate. Just get everybody heads up on that. I see Commissioner Olford's coming in, so Commissioner Weinheimer, did you want to go through like from top to bottom on this, or how did you want to discuss
I just
the
had
questions?
several items I had a question on. Maybe
Okay,
we can get those as one.
we'll go ahead and start.
One of them was Kimberly McKee. Let's see,
Elections,
yeah, elections. Let me find that here.
The request from part-time to full-time.
Yeah, but it was the pay that I had a question on. So let me find it real quick.
Right here, page 2.
Okay, so, I guess I was confused on the pay rate, so um, it was at $18 and it was going to 2076, I believe. Sorry, I should have been more than I.
I guess it's currently 18 and we're gonna take 20.
20,000.
$18 an hour, that's $2, $20 an hour. So
All right.
what I wrote down.
Right there, it says 20,000. Yeah, it's $20 an hour. You're right.
The current is 18.
So my recollection was we were going to $20 an hour, and not the $1.50 COLA. And keep the part-time position.
That's what I recalled.
Okay, I'm sorry, it took me a minute to get to it. So in the sheet, we have it down at $20.76 an hourly rate. And that was what I was confused about. So where did y'all say $20? What I understand.
Well, in my notes, I got $20 an hour.
Yeah.
And no, not the $1.50 COLA, which if she was at $18.50, it would be bumped up to 20.
That's what I have down as well, 20, and it has 2076 in there.
Yeah, it should be 20, and then,
You got that one, Kenny? All right.
and then continue the part-time position.
Then the other one I had a question about was the mechanic open position. It's currently in the spreadsheet that Kenny sent out at $22.93, and I thought we had $26 down as the open position on that. I'm not sure if for $22 or $23 that we're gonna get much mechanic.
Yeah, I thought we agreed on 26 also.
So I think we're gonna go to 20% open position. And then the other thing, the county attorney's office, I think they're all put in at $1.50 an hour.
I think that, we'll get back to that one. I don't think I did anything, I didn't have anything in my notes of whatever, so that one I just did that as like a placeholder.
So it's yet to be updated.
Yes.
Okay.
That part I haven't done, so I can do that.
All right.
But in the county attorney's office, it was their request plus COLA. That was,
So there's a lot of them requested.
well, I'm just saying, Candy didn't change it, but that was the request, changes plus COLA.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is all that's in the position's schedule is the $1.50,
Yeah.
not the request that she had from the
I
different
thought
departments.
So y'all are doing $1.50 in addition to, or,
We haven't decided on,
okay, that's what I thought, which is why I didn't change it, so I can do that.
Sorry, I'm late.
For the record, Commissioner Olfers has joined the meeting.
Welcome.
Is this the same sheet we had the other day?
Yeah, there's nothing was handed out. I had several questions. Kimmy had sent out a position schedule spreadsheet, and I was comparing it to what we've done here.
I also am still working on the jail.
I'm sorry?
I'm also still working on the jail.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't look at any of the jail or sheriff's office. So,
Wasn't he going to kind of check on things and see what he may want to do? I thought that's kind of how it left. Bless you.
Time.
I have a Zoom hearing I need to do real quick. Do y'all want to continue the meeting? Or do you want to recess?
Recess.
5-minute break or 10-minute, whatever you need. I need a 5-minute break.
Jeez. All right. It's 9:31 a.m. We will take a brief recess. Try to reconvene in approximately 10 minutes. Okay, it's 9:43 a.m. Still August the 10th, 2026. We're going to reconvene the open meeting of the Gillespie County Commissioners Court. This is a special meeting discussion item of budget workshop. We were going through the position schedule that was revised. And where were we on the county attorney's office? Trying to flesh that out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Kimmy said they're working on that or what.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's anything we gotta do, except wait for them to plug it in.
Did you have other questions?
I had the rest of them answered.
Okay. And we just had a request from the CVB inquiring about their budget and their funding from the county. So we can talk about that tomorrow. I think that she may be at the meeting, our regular meeting tomorrow, that we can discuss it. And we can talk about it now, but if we want to have a representative here from the CVB, we can do that tomorrow if they're going to be here. If not, it'll have to be on Friday. I think our question for us is, again, what funding are we want to contribute from a hot standpoint as revenue for them.
Are we going to discuss that now a little bit, or
It's up to you.
what are the collections? What are the projected collections? Where are we at? Or
I don't know if we have all that information. She just emailed, I think, a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
So, that's why I really just bring it up so we can be prepared to talk about it at the next meeting. We have a budget workshop at the end of our regular meeting tomorrow as an item. They typically come to our regular meetings, so that would probably be a good time to address it. The agenda is fairly short, one of the shorter agendas we've had in a long time, so.
thanks, Judge.
I didn't edit it, it just, that's the way it came.
Well, I don't think we need to go up on their funding, but I talk about tomorrow, I guess.
Well, my reason for questioning what our collections were is if it's gone down, then that's something we may have to look at. That was my question. Yeah, I mean, it's,
Well, and I had discussed with the former CVB CEO, I guess it's plural, about doing a longer term funding agreement so that we would have some stability over a multi-year period as opposed to just doing it every year. And I think that the current CEO is wanting to probably discuss that as well. Of course, it's always contingent upon funding and receipt of revenue from HOT, but that would give us some stability for budgeting and give them some stability moving forward for budgeting, at least for a few, 2 or 3 year periods. And I don't know what these cities planning to do on their side. See if I can get some info on that before from the city. We did have a little bit of discussion with the city concerning that role for the hot collection. And the city does not currently use a scraping software. They do their own internal determination tying it to STR permits. So if we were to proceed, we would need to procure some sort of contractor that would be able to do the scraping of the listings for the county to determine, at least try to correlate to what what short-term rentals or B&Bs or other lodging is out there that is reporting and not reporting. So that's just some additional costs we would need to incorporate. I know that the treasurer's office did obtain one proposal from an entity that does that service, but it also tied in, it was a comprehensive package that included permitting, some other, inspections, some other things that we just won't be able to do, or we won't do just because we don't have the authority to do that in the county. So our need is primarily just location of listings and trying to correlate those with people that have remitted hot tax. Cami or Ed, do y'all have any questions that have come up since the last meeting that you needed clarity on or anything like that?
On my position schedule, I'm going off of the numbers that y'all said out loud, for the IT. Of just the 70, 55, 50 for the other positions. So then I wanted to move forward to the director.
Speak louder, Cammy, I'm sorry.
The chief deputy, I think the $1.50 was a couple dollars more than the 2.5%, so I went ahead and just stated the $1.50 amount, or when I did confirm salary.
What did you do for the sheriff? $1.50?
Take that back on the chief deputy, it's like $40 more for the 2.5%.
Anybody have any concerns or objections to that?
That's
Just doing the dollar and then the $1, or the 2.5%. And I guess clarification also
So Kami, on that, are you gonna list it separately as like the step plus the difference? Is that what you're asking? Is that the question?
yeah, so I have it as like the COLA, I'm just calling it is the $1.50, and then anything in addition to that, for, like, then would be more of like a salary adjustment. Instead of listing that separate from the $1.50, just to show that there was that difference based on, so I can combine the $3 block. Just so y'all can see what y'all done in addition to the $1.50 is kind of like breaking them out.
You mean what we've done in addition to the 2.5% step?
No, in addition to the $1.50.
On these, $1.50 is less than 2.5%.
Yes,
So she's bringing it up to 2.5%.
yes.
Okay.
Most of them are like the $1.50 is less than 2.5. So that makes sense.
$1.50 is more than 2.5% on most of them.
For some of them.
She was just gonna show the distinction of having everybody get the $1.50, and then whatever the difference is between the $1.50 and the 2.5, she'll show that separately, so the court can see, okay, this is how much more you give these individuals, versus just showing one lump sum.
So then the less salary person is actually getting a little bit more than the $1.50.
But that's why you showed the distinction.
No, the
More
less,
salary.
the more salary is getting more.
No, because they're only getting $1.50.
So they'll get the 2.5, you're just showing the difference between, you know, so
Okay.
everybody gets the $1.50, and then you'll see that the higher pay gets more than the lower pay, and the 2.5 more value at the one level, to equal a total of 2.5.
Okay, so let's look at the sheriff's salary. His current salary is 132,378.72. If he gets $1.50, that would put him at 135,498.72, or whatever, 79, 72, whatever.
So
Which is about 2.3.
2.36%.
And so I guess my question is, are y'all proposing to push that to the 2.5%?
That was my question last time, so, I mean, that's what I've done with the rest of the, and so, yeah, and that would be almost 190 additional. But that would be easy.
Yeah, I don't think the sheriff's on the step program though.
Yeah, I think that's,
Excluded him last time, and I think that's why he doesn't have anything in that salary adjustment column was, we had discussed just using the $1.50 for him.
is the chief deputy on the step plan, or are they just a stated salary? I felt like the sheriff and at least the chief deputy were just a stated salary on there. Of course, it's been like 3 or 4 years since we did that.
Yes, those two are, and the lieutenant is on the step. So it's just the deputy and the sheriff. So that was why I had that's why the deputy is highlighted also.
Smidges. Oh, we can go down.
This for the same time as that, or some 10% to be not taxed. Yeah, 3 years.
So you need a call from us to determine whether we want to do $1.50 for the sheriff and the chief deputy, or something varied from that,
Correct.
because I don't think they're on the stat plan.
But Mike McDonald, the Lieutenant Field Operations, is on a step.
Yes.
Well, I think the other two, the $1.50 is sufficient.
The other two.
I think they're on the sheriff would be sufficient.
The sheriff, and, yeah, that's my opinion. I mean, I'm just one up here, but
I mean, it's like, right, it's like 2.47%
Yeah.
for one.
So the only issue there would be that the Lieutenant Field Operations would make a little bit more than the chief deputy if we add to the 2.5%. Right now, they're the same salary.
Yeah, I think that rate in this chart is incorrect, maybe. What is McDonald's current rate? Is it 113? I mean, I'm sorry, 110? Or is it 120 something?
it's 110. Because on this sheet here, they're even.
Yeah.
I think it just carried the number from the line before it, maybe.
Yeah, the numbers in the, document I sent this morning are correct.
Yeah, I think McDonald is 110 range currently. Is that what y'all are seeing? 110, 625.
Yeah, 110, 322, somewhere in there.
So the $1.50 on that should be above 2.5%.
Yeah.
Figure-
Kami, what's the hourly rate for the law enforcement? For the law enforcement? When they're on the
At 86 hours,
2184? All right, so current proposal is $1.50 for sheriff and chief deputy, and the others will be, they'll all be $1.50, but we're not gonna increase the two sheriff and chief deputy, whatever little bit they need to hit the 2.5%. We're just gonna give them the $1.50.
Correct.
Is that the agreement or is consensus for budgeting?
Yes.
Spot in precinct 4, just like that was what was on the sheet as well. So 2514 is what we were looking at.
In the precincts, is that what you want, Tammy?
Kim, you're asking about the vacant position in precinct 4 and what that rate's gonna be.
So are those other rates, or is that 2050, is that the starting whatever it is plus the 5%, or is, I mean, because we're not gonna, it's hard to find somebody at that. You what? Well, like for mine,
One is 2050 and 4 is 2514.
mine is 21.
$21.
Oh, that was after the adjustment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Added 50 cents in there for 21.
Yeah, I mean, Keith and I looked at, it's like, we need to move that starting rate up, but if y'all want to budget more than that, in case you get an experienced person. And the reason ours is higher is that we had an experienced, our number 2 guy resigned, retired, I mean, so.
Yes, that's what, I don't know where mine came up, because my number 2 guy moved up to 1.
Yeah,
I know he wasn't at just the starting rate, but
Yeah, I don't know where your budgeted numbers came from either.
but then you move somebody else into number 2.
Yeah.
That's what we did, so,
well, I guess we all kind of did to some degree.
yeah.
On the sheet that you prepared, it's got a $22 rate for FY 27 for that vacant position in 4. And on the sheet I have is 2514, so do you want to budget 2514 for that? Is that what we discussed? And that's what my notes say on the other sheet. I don't know, is that your question, Cammie, is where that's gonna be?
Well, I think all those empty positions ought to be budgeted the same.
So the question is, do y'all have a problem with your entry positions or do you have a problem with mine?
Yours is more appealing, but you know, we have a lot of people that are below that rate to where you're gonna have to really be able to justify it when hiring. Especially when you have an open position for that rate, and might have two guys that are far below that, then they're gonna be jumping around, so.
So it
I think
sounds
we
like
need-
y'all have a problem with your rate.
More so than yours.
Yeah.
I'm trying to recruit.
Well, what do you want to move the open position ratio? And again, you can budget a certain amount, but you don't have to pay that depending on what you get, so.
Correct.
And so those numbers are just all over the place and
Yeah.
Well, I will say this is that we can't treat every individual that comes along as if they're a brand new employee. Because
no,
you got guys with tons of experience coming in, you got green guys coming in. So, and we all do, so.
absolutely.
I mean, I would be game to budget 24 to 25, somewhere in there. No less than 24, but whatever y'all think on those open positions. But it's got to be very well on experience.
Any other thoughts?
I'm trying to-
Okay.
Commissioner Cromer, you're the only one that hasn't said anything, and you don't have a knife in the fight.
Yeah, he doesn't have an open position. I was trying to look and see too, if you were to lose somebody, where would that 24 put him in the mix of?
And there again, like Commissioner Weinarm says, it's just a budgetary
Yeah,
thing,
no,
so have to
budgetary.
justify it.
But if it's not budget, you can't do it if it's not there.
Correct.
So what is his open positions budgeted at, what right now?
25-14.
I'm trying to find that. Balance here.
On there, it shows it at 20.
Yeah, 22, yeah, on there at 22.
Two more weeks, you get a vacation.
2350 on both of them?
So you well, the problem is when you do that, you got people that are
Aren't making that yet either, yeah. But again, if they're, like Commissioner Officer is saying, they would have to be highly experienced and brought in at that rate versus just a green guy. You wouldn't give the green guy that 2350.
It's kind of like the step plan where we budgeted a step 10 for a vacancy, even though they may come in at a 1 and be, way lower.
Yep.
Gives you the room if needed. Commissioner Yancey, you don't have any vacancies currently, is that correct?
I don't currently have an open, and nor does Commissioner Cromer. So if we were to lose somebody though, would we have that opportunity to offer that same for the same person?
So here's what you do, is that you can let the position schedule fill out your budget in code, and then you can turn around and say, well, I want to add X amount of dollars on top of that in the event that you have something. So you got the budget for it. I think we did that last year on certain people.
You have a number? Do you want more time? Talk about it tomorrow? Or is this something you can,
No, knock it out.
I think you said you proposed 24 was the last proposal?
22, 3, 4, 23, 24.
You can only make one proposal.
I think he's bidding in 42.
Anywhere in there is fine. We got to get rolling.
You want me to do it for you?
Go ahead.
Why don't we put them down as 24?
Okay.
And that's for the vacant position in precinct 1 and precinct 4. Are both going to get that right?
Yep.
That reminds me of the guy that went to the tax office complaining about his taxes. Said they were higher than his neighbors, and you know, he didn't think that was fair, and the tax office said, you're right, we're raising the neighbors' taxes.
Where to next, Judge?
Yes.
Precinct 30, they have the part-time employee currently is all the way in the budget, and out of 49. Are y'all wanting to keep them at the $21 rate or also the 24?
It'd be fair at the 24. If replacement, if he doesn't stay full-time or part-time, or if something happens there. But then I'll advocate for 2. What do we do in 2 to make them have that 24 available also?
I mean, I don't know why. I mean, so budget that, you're not going to, you've already hired the man and he's in there. Budget that position at the 24, then
Or if
we
something
put
happens,
one of Keith's positions at 24.
Yeah, and we've got that money to
It's
use. If
budgeted, but it's not being
It's
used.
being used, correct?
Does that make sense?
24. And then I'm just gonna put a note that this pay will increase it.
Yeah,
Yeah, just keep in mind, there's a difference between position schedule and budget.
Yeah.
So if you go change somebody in here to 24, then that would be what we were saying, we're paying them on a position schedule, I guess. So you got a budget in the budget beyond the position schedule.
As long as you
If
and Tammy
I
knows
heard
what's
right
going
what y'all
on.
said, so.
So the part-time position, the hourly rate is going to be 22?
2 after the dollar.
Right, that's what I
Next
mean,
year.
right. But you want to budget a full-time 24.
Full-time 24 if something changes or happens. And again, that person has to be a highly experienced type deal to do that, but at least it's available.
All right, Kami, what else?
The only other thing I had was overtime. There is a request for JP through, I believe, in the Sheridan jail. I don't have it on the position schedule, I just have what's currently there. I would look
Okay, let's talk about JP3 first.
His request was go from 4 to 6.
JP3. JP3, I'm sorry, what, the question's what?
They're requesting 6,000 for overtime and
Oh.
it's currently budgeted for $2,000.
They also have that overlap position budgeted too.
But we have it budgeted 25,000 max, correct?
I believe that's right.
That 3-month overlay.
And I think there's actually a 3-month overlay. If you look at the salary and what it would be, that's 25 is actually very generous there. Because that would almost come out to, the way it looks to me, about 6 months.
From our big book that we've got, which is 6/30/26, any period is currently at 3,600 of the 4,000 they spent. Last year they did a little over 4,100 of the 4,000 budget. 24/25 and 23/24 they were 3,780 for the year, so. Pretty consistent hitting that 4,000 number. And that precinct, let's see what that is. Precinct 4 has a high of 2,500.
This is Commissioner Board's agenda.
Precinct 1, they're a lot lower this year. They're 1,250. Last year they were 3,990, and the year before 4,400. And then 2, current year 2 has 2,500 budgeted, and they're 3,290. Previous year they were 4,017. What historical numbers?
Hang on.
Just leave it at 6,000.
Yeah.
So we got a proposal to leave, or I guess to budget 6,000 for the overtime. Any discussion or comments?
That's fine, sir.
I have noticed it.
Cammy, anything else?
The other two were the jail and sheriff's office. The jail's currently budgeted at 110,000, and then the jail, or sheriff's requesting 150,000.
That's just for the jail. And how much have they used? I kind of,
150.
I'm sorry?
That looks like they're at 152,000.
And until they hire more staff and with the pay increase, whatever that be, overtime's only gonna go up significantly.
Yeah, they've had to make some budget adjustments this year. And they, so they've exceeded what they're requesting.
Looks like they increased overtime by 80,000 and decreased the full-time by that. Will that work to do that down the road if they don't hire people? They've got those new positions budgeted? So there's no transfer?
I believe, yes. Kind of what we do in the past, correct?
Yep. Otherwise, you're budgeting double money, really.
But I was kind of under the impression that the sheriff was left with trying to go figure out what his actual full needs were. Because it was quite a
Yeah,
large
I was
increase.
going to contact him after the meeting to talk
Okay.
about that, but, the overtime is one of those things, like if we have an event like the flood, I mean, they pull in everybody, and then say we got more deputies, there's probably going to be more people coming in, which would be even more overtime. But the day-to-day overtime that's caused by people being out or having to work extra shifts, hopefully should be, alleviated some if we have additional personnel. If they don't have the personnel, then maybe they would have the salary savings to fund that overtime. Cammy, so your question is what you want to put into the budget?
For
Or
overtime
do you
for the
want us to-
jail.
Right now, it's 110 as the proposal for jail and 155 for sheriff's office.
Yeah, so that's what's currently budgeted. They're, for the jail, they're asking for, it looks like $100,000 increase to $255,000. And I haven't looked at how much is used yet.
The 255 was for the sheriff's office. Then I guess it's 200 for the jail. Is the request 150?
Looks like in the sheriff's office so far, it's been about, I'm rounding up, but about 160 that's been used.
Sheriff's Office 25-26, we budgeted 255. In jail, we budgeted 110, but we transferred 80,000 between salary and overtime.
What's the request for next year? 255 for patrol or for jail?
For jail,
The Sheriff's Office said be the same, and get 40,000 increase for jail.
the sheriff's office has done budget adjustment also.
And this one, it doesn't show, oh, no, yep, sorry. They increased by 100,000. It was 155.
Tammy, anything else? I was waiting for Commissioner Yancey to be studying his book over there real quick.
I think that's it. There were a couple cell phones that were being requested as like stipends, I guess. So I didn't know if all,
These new cell phone stipend requests.
one of them, yes. Don't, I have to look at it more, but it looks like there's an increase possibly for a couple individuals.
Are you talking about people that already have a stipend, they want an increase in the rate?
So I'm looking real quick at lot of them, I think that they requested just to make sure that they kept their stipend is what it is. Based on some of the requests.
Well, if they were already getting it and we didn't, there's no reason to change it. I don't know why we would. I think we would continue to budget it.
Yeah, I think all the ones that did request it, yeah, they already have it. The only one that doesn't. Well, yeah, I think everybody that requested it.
Okay, I'll mark that one off the list.
Wow.
Anything else, Kimmy?
Nothing's still outstanding with the overtime on the jail.
Sheriff and jail overtime.
So on sheriff's office, before I've got end of June, 140,000 used, divided by 9, 16.5 a month, times 12, 187,000 for the year. On the current rate, add 5%, it goes 196,000. Again, they should have some, if they don't fill positions, they can transfer. The original request last year was 155,000. They moved 100,000 over. I could go 185 maybe. They should still have sheriff. The other one, the jail doing the same with the numbers. They used 134 through June, divided by 9 and multiply that by 12 gives 180,000 is their current trend. They originally had 110 in there, transferred 80 to make 190. But again, if we have all those positions added,
That's the tough thing, is that adding
Yeah.
overtime to it and adding
Adding
positions.
other-
It's,
so if you don't fill the positions, you should have some of that payroll transferred. But we've also got pay increases that overtime number grows anyway, regardless. 150 for the jail? They wanted 155?
Oh, wait, no,
Or what?
sorry, jail, yes, you're
Yeah,
good.
jail, I'm saying 150 for the new number. Then you still transfer and do whatever they need to, I don't know. That's my swag, scientific. Wild guess.
Okay, any concerns with that proposal, put in the budget,
I have none.
in the proposed budget?
And it gives us a starting point for a final number and go from there.
All right, HR squared away today? Okay. Anything else from the commissioners?
I'll have the volunteer fire department spreadsheet. I wasn't able to get it done in time.
Okay.
I'll have that tomorrow. So.
Okay.
The only one that I've brought up several times is the county attorney and the judge.
You want to get rid of them?
Not necessarily.
Well, on the county attorney's office, have we figured that out? We all gonna work through that? Wasn't there a question on,
I think it was just, are y'all gonna stick with just the request, or are y'all going to also do the $1.50? I can easily just include their stuff based off of, the spreadsheet I gave y'all initially, before I just started. And then just go off of those numbers.
Kami, on your form, there's also a red box next to Brian Davis's position. Did you have a specific question about that position?
Yes. She requested, that he be moved over to a salary.
To exam?
classification as
Okay.
exempt as opposed to hourly. So I think I have him listed as salary because of the request, but I wanted to confirm with all that the court was okay with that request.
My recollection was the county attorney represented that she had researched the classification of the employee based on the IRS. The factors and that she was of the opinion that it was appropriate. I don't have any reason to not take her opinion. I mean, unless the court wants to discuss that. So that was the only question about that. Okay.
Yeah, she included herself.
So the question is on the county attorney's office. I think in the chart that we have, $1.50 was put in for all employees I think that was as a placeholder because there needed to be some more discussion on that. And now the question is, do you want us to continue with that, or is the court going to authorize or approve the requested increases that may differ from that? I have in the presentation the county attorney's office provided at their initial budget workshop presentation, I've got a note that also the office administrator position was requested to move to an exempt position. Which I think, is that you, Dale?
That's correct.
How do you feel about that?
At the moment, it's probably needed, because at the moment I have a hard time keeping up with the workload, within the number of hours, the higher pace, keeps up with too fast.
Yeah.
So the way that these increases are structured, they're funded from different sources. The portion that's funded by the pretrial intervention fund starts at essentially being paid entirely by that fund, and then over a 4-year period shifts over time to where it's paid by the general fund. So there, at some point, would be an increase in general fund contribution, but it's spread out over a 4-year period. Good morning, Sarah. Any thoughts?
I don't have any objections to it. At least you have a way to fund it.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. That's the, there's no other stipend there.
Yeah, they don't quite correlate with what we've got in the packet.
But you know, if this one goes up to 120, she's 19,000 below the person's system.
Mhm. But there's a state supplement that goes into
That's
that.
what I was asking.
Yeah.
Miss Neal, you're
Yes.
not sunburned.
No, I'm a diligent user of sunscreen and, try to stay in the same shade.
Good thinking.
Yeah, I'm correct.
It's no fun.
I'm sorry.
So that's no fun.
You know, try to preserve that youthful glow. I do have, and I spoke with Judge Jones about this, before I left, but I did want to bring up to y'all that on the, SB 22 grant money, the way that I have it right now, I was reserving some of that if in the event that my assistant county attorney position, which is part-time, needed to go full-time, I could use that, but I think that it would be more effective use of the funds because those are, if we don't use them all, we have to send them back. So I just now this morning started working on that, to just switch it in there, but I'm gonna work on that. Dale and I are Dale's gonna double check it for me, and I'll recirculate the spreadsheet with that. But the intent is just to use all of the SB 22 funds, which is 175,000, and then it would basically be only in the event that that position could become full-time, that we would be asking for additional amount out of the county fund to make that difference. At this time, I have no reason to think that we're gonna need that in FY 27, but if we did, I would wanna be able to get a full-time employee in that position. And I believe it's gonna end up being about $27,000. So my point is I'm gonna get all that done and then recirculate that, and I can bring that to y'all as well. I apologize for not having that done initially, but after thinking about it some more, it seems like that would be the most effective way. Since that's not coming from the general fund, we want to use all those dollars.
Overall, it's not gonna change the total dollar,
It's
just
just where
where
it's
it's
coming
coming from,
from.
which bucket.
And then we have special rules for the SB 22 money on who can, which position and all that. So,
You're still utilizing your PTI fund.
yes, sir. None of that's gonna change. It's just gonna be that we want to use all of that 175 from the SB 22 because we don't want to, if they're giving it to us for free,
Use it,
right,
either use it or lose it.
exactly. So we would like to use it. So I'll get that done, hopefully today, and then we'll make sure it gets, treasurer's office, HR, auditor's office, and then we can get that to y'all with those changes.
We probably need to get her a copy of the position schedule for her department so that we can make sure that it matches with what they're looking at and what we're looking at.
I'm gonna also work on, I did it last year, I'll probably do it again, because it's easier on me when I'm actually going in and inputting it into the budget, is separating out the county, the PTI, and the SB. I haven't done that on here yet, but I'll work on that today, and then all what's in that circle. Thing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, Neil, we have a regular Commissioners Court meeting tomorrow, and at the end of that agenda is a budget workshop discussion, and then also we have one on Friday. So those are our two opportunities to try to shore this up before the proposed budget.
We'll have it done hopefully, unless some emergency arises this afternoon or later this morning, which I hope does not, I should be able to have it done by tomorrow.
Okay, great.
But your request hasn't changed, it's just how you're gonna, yeah.
That's correct.
You have anything else you want to talk about? You ready to roll? I didn't think we were going to be here this long.
You didn't?
Mr. Yansky, you good over there?
I'm good.
At some point, we're gonna discuss what Charles brought up about the
other two positions.
Y'all can talk about it. You can step away.
Do you want to recuse yourself, sir?
If you're gonna talk about my salary.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna recuse myself from this discussion, I believe.
Thank you, sir.
Pro tem.
Pro Tem, you have the floor.
Judge Jones has stepped out of the court. I just, two positions I just still want to discuss, and I brought it up a couple times, is Judge Jones's position as far as salary adjustment and Sarah Neal's as far as the county attorney's positions. Both of them have taken on a lot of heat, and Sarah takes on a lot, Miss Neal takes on a lot of stuff that really, she has acquired a lot of things in this last year. So that's two positions that I would like to look at between us.
So do you have a proposal?
My thought is 10,000 each. Just a thought.
I'm
You're-
also going to leave harder to me, that's probably the best that I do. But if you have any other questions, please let me know. Thank you so much.
Sit in the back. Dale, is where's our county attorney in comparison to Kerrville?
And TAG just released a salary survey last week, I think. I don't know if y'all, I think y'all should receive that. I don't know if you.
Which ones did they not have anything in mind? You got all those tabs at the bottom. Next time. Commissioner offers, I'm playing you today. It's locked me out. So.
Duh, look in my world.
From a county attorney perspective in that survey, let me look here.
I thought Mr. Davis may have had that information at one time.
Yeah, he did, he sent it on the spreadsheet.
The question is,
Versus current,
Well, just like the surrounding counties.
was 250.
Out of, I'm sorry,
That what,
No.
that's what the Kirk County attorney, it's in there, but I believe it was 250. Is that right?
so the survey that TAC had of counties in a similar size, out of 12 counties, Ms. Neal's salary was 7th out of the 12. And that includes the salary supplements. So the highest was Hale County at 203,000. The lowest was actually Jim Wells County at 45,000. Ms. Neal was at 142, and essentially if I started at the bottom, there's 45, 94, 105, 121, 122, 142, 156, 158, 187. So the average is 144. She's slightly below average. But there's also some anomalies in that average.
The two that are way down there.
If we take out the two bottom ones in that average, let me redo this.
So that's 25,000 to 50,000 population.
Yes,
the Kerr is over 50.
yeah, so the average, if we take out the two bottom ones, is about 159. So she's anywhere from 2 to 12,000 below average. I don't see county judge in here. David, did you do the county judge on that as well? in that spreadsheet you sent us?
Should.
Okay. Can we finish this one real quick before we go on?
Sure.
Okay.
You can-
And David, can you come up and maybe find that in your deal, please, sir? So what are y'all thinking on the county attorneys?
I mean, we gave her a bump last year as well, so
And what was, how much do you know or remember?
I don't remember exactly what that was last year, but I know we bumped her, so. But anyway, and, you know, if you look at the average of those 12 similar-sized counties, including the two that are very low, she's about $2,000 under average, all the way up to 12 grand if you take the two bottom ones out, so I'd be good with anywhere between 2 and 12.
Why don't we just do 10 on both and move on? Knock this out.
See if they work.
I'm gonna look another spot.
Camera can't see anything.
How do you find it on your search? Salary survey.
I don't know, it was emailed out.
It was.
So at 10,000, that's 7% increase on this deal, basically. Just as another. Number.
You're kidding. And then again, that doesn't group it like.
It usually would be by the size of the counties.
Does it?
Which one do you want to have that?
Hmm?
$5,000, fewer than 5,000 residents. Anyways, thoughts, concerns, input from anybody?
I already told you mine.
Then what was that, sir?
10,000 each, 10 each.
And it's right at 7% for this deal. Percentage. that puts you at that higher end of the average.
Should be number one in our heart, but not in our salary survey.
I'd be fine with that, and if we get the survey information on Judge Jones that indicates that that's out of whack, we can readdress it tomorrow afternoon, I
I
guess.
think that's a great idea.
Okay. Got that, Cammy? Thank you.
Okay, are you gonna adjourn before he gets back?
I would say, do we need to bring him back in? And
Okay.
Is he sitting over there still?
He's playing a 5-minute break.
I'm thinking a 24-hour break.
Judge Pro Tem is not that nice. He's not giving me a 5-minute break.
I'm good now.
Oh,
It's all in my mind.
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
You see the water?
it's in your mind.
This is groups.
What else you want to discuss, Pro Temp?
Adjourning?
You just got here.
I just got
You
here.
got here.
I've had to do this twice now. It's not that fun.
This Pro Temp stuff will wear you down.
It's wearing me out. Just for the record, Judge Jones has returned to the court.
Thank you. Anything else we need to discuss today? Unresolved? Lost my pen.
We need-
Thank you.
Some class, so.
So where are we at on the attorney, the attorney's request for the additional employees? Are we gonna plug those numbers in? Are we waiting? I mean, it's not gonna change the number, it's just gonna change how she's funding it.
Is there a request for additional employees, or are you just talking about the compensation?
The compensation adjustment, I mean, it's, the number's not changed, just how, where she's coming up.
Right. I don't have any objection to what's being requested.
I think we should plug that in and move on.
Book it.
Knock another thing on the auto.
We'll talk about it tomorrow, David. Do you have it though? Okay, thanks.
What else can we knock out?
That's all I had on my list. Cammy, there's a little highlight on the Veteran Service Office Assistant. Was there a question about that? Is that resolved? Okay. I'm sorry? Okay, all right.
So, back to the attorney's request, that's her request, not a COLA, it's just that request. Is that correct?
I don't remember what you said.
Yeah, so on that, I don't see if she has anything for Chad. Well, everybody else has something. Does he fall under sheriff or jail or? No, I don't know what to do. And didn't have anything for Madison Cleveland either, according to the abbreviated report she's given us.
Shoot.
Those two get the $1.50.
I just want to have some available. Plus they're good for putting on dollar in the walls.
Still has to look at merit raises or anything on those 3 days, see some last year and then one shifting part-time as part of.
Part of the deal.
Yeah, but you'll work out, so she's not listing anything specific.
So the COLA should be,
So for Lot and Madison would be a COLA, the rest would just be their request.
their request.
Check.
Follow that one, Kenny.
Yes.
Anything else? Mark that one.
Everybody's going crazy.
Mr. Karen,
She's right there.
I know,
She would have told us.
she's got a laptop running.
You ready to adjourn or
I move we adjourn.
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And we are adjourned at 11:11 a.m. I'll be here tomorrow.
John Love's been in contact